in urban areas and towards city planning. So we're going to have a number of presenters today. Our first one is Nina Kaiko from Turku University. She is the co-secretariat, co-lead for the Resilience Academy Secretariat, and also associate professor in digital geospace research at the Department of Geography and Geology at the University of Turku. So welcome Nina, and she's going to give us a brief presentation and also a little video about Resilience Academy. Please feel free to put your questions in the chat box on the side as we go, and the Resilience Academy team are online and they'll help answer those questions in the chat, or we'll save them for the panel discussion at the end, where we'll get a chance to discuss together with all of the panelists. So without further ado, welcome Nina.
Thank you, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you super well, Nina. So I think we're going to get started with the video from, we're going to get started with Nina.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. I will let you know when to change the slides. So indeed, good morning, everybody. My name is Nina Kaiko, and I'm an associate professor from the University of Turku, and indeed co-coordinator for the Resilience Academy, together with our 4 main coordinators from 4 different Tanzanian universities. What is Resilience Academy? I'm pretty excited over the last 2 years of our cooperation on building digital skills, innovation, and employment solutions that are novel for Tanzanian universities. The idea here is that Resilience Academy is tackling with one of the major challenges on the globe today, and that of urbanization. Urbanization creates as a major need to ensure that future cities are more resilient, inclusive, and safe to live in. On top of that, it's our duty to make sure that the young generation who increasingly moves and lives in the cities will be skilled and employed in the future. This is the challenge of the Resilience Academy. And if you can change the next slide, I will tell a bit about the approach. Next slide, please. The solution space of the Resilience Academy is rooted on local skills. So the idea here is that universities in Tanzania will equip their students and graduates with such skills that are able to catalyze increasing employment opportunities for the young generation. Resilience Academy thus uses open and affordable and locally adaptable digital tools, data, and technologies. And the idea is that these tools and solutions are used jointly with the local communities. We need to ensure that our solution space is inclusive. And inclusiveness means that we need to make sure that participants widely in the society are able to join our efforts to create new digital solutions for the improvement of the life quality. This strategy is cross-cutting in all the service solutions of the Resilience Academy. Next slide, please. Can I get the next slide, please? To say a few words about the team. Over the last 17 years, we have had intensive cooperation between Tanzanian universities and University of Turku from Finland, and we have been building institutional solutions for better education, research, and cooperation structures of the universities. A couple of years ago, we joined our forces with the World Bank and their idea of building resilient urban solutions for Tanzania. This was the initiation of the Tanzania Resilience Academy, which is led by 4 universities: Ardi University, University of Dar es Salaam, Sokoine University of Agriculture, and State University of Zanzibar. Together, these 4 universities, with the secretarial services coming from the University of Turku, are the ones who are building these skills solutions. We also work in close partnership with other international universities and hopefully soon also with many other Tanzanian universities. We have University of Twente and Delft University of Technology in the team. Next slide, please. What type of services Resilience Academy is offering? First of all, one of the major obstacles of urban digital service solution is the lack of data. Resilience Academy focuses on creating increasing access and open access to digital geospatial data that gives us a chance to do informed decisions and strategical solutions for the future society. Resilience Academy is maintaining climate risk database, which currently has over 80 data sets of biggest cities, mainly Dar es Salaam and Zanzibar at this stage, but increasingly more to come, which you can access in the address geonode.resilienceacademy.ac.tz. On top of the climate risk database and open data, we are building open access e-learning solutions for the students. These e-learning modules that we are building enhance the learning of the digital skills with these technologies and data. We are building novel mini MOOCs, massive online courses, which then are integrated into the learning curricula of the local universities. They are also offered via the stakeholder cooperation of the universities to many participants outside university. One of the biggest efforts of the Resilience Academy skills and service development is a massive internships. Every year since 2016, Tanzanian students have been interns in industrial training with the local companies and those partners who are in need of the digital data. Students have been engaged in several weeks long effort to learn skills of data collection in the communities, data management, project management, and data sharing skills. These community-based mapping campaigns, internship practices, have been the foundation for creating more open access data, and they have been the one that give the students a chance to learn skills outside academia, outside lecture halls, in the real world. The fourth service, I'm still in the previous slide, the fourth service of the Resilience Academy, which we are now intensively building, is the research and innovation services. These are related to combining technology with urgent needs of solving new and providing new solutions for the problems in the society. We will hear more about all these services today in the presentation. One of the new things we tried out some months ago, if I can get the next slide, please, is the digital work via microtasking. We had 120 students from these 4 universities in June, July, August, working to validate one of the big global open access data sets via their mobile phones and laptops. This is an example of the effort to provide students who are already skilled with the digital technologies and tools and data an additional opportunity for employment, which they can do online, anywhere, anytime, of their choice. What this type of microtasking offers is a new way of cooperating with those who are in need of a digital tasking, and especially integration of local knowledge to validating digital data, and at the same time providing students a way to learn employment skills and professional skills outside academia. This was a very successful case that we executed together with our partners some months ago. I think now we are ready to watch a short video of Resilience Academy, and then we will hear our coordinators and experts from Tanzania on different aspects of Resilience Academy. Thank you very much.
thank you to Nina, and thank you for that video. That was really beautiful. And the Resilience Academy team have dropped that GeoNode address in the chat box. So if you're interested in following up and learning more about the GeoNode, you can find that in the chat box. We're now going to be welcoming the Resilience Academy coordinators to do a very quick presentation. So we're welcoming Dr. Zachariah Ngereja from RD. He's a senior lecturer at the Department of Geospatial Science and Technology. Dr. Juma Lungo, he's a lecturer at the Computer Science and Engineering Department, College of Information and Communication Technologies at UDSM. Dr. Makame Makame from SUSA, who's senior lecturer at the School of Natural and Social Sciences. And Ms. Theofrida Maginga, the assistant lecturer at Sokoine University of Agriculture. So I'm going to ask them to turn their videos on and get ready to present. And we'll give it to the Sahara team to pull up the slides and take us away.
Thank you. Do you hear me? Zachariah Ngereja from RD University.
Thank you, Zachariah. We can hear you well. Karibu.
Asante. I'm a lecturer at RD University, Department of Geospatial Science and Technology, but also I'm the coordinator of the Resilience Academy at RD University. Next slide, please. At RD University, we are coordinating Resilience Academy by involving students to perform a number of activities. And some of these activities have already been explained by Professor Nina, engaging students on community mapping to collect data, which are then processed and uploaded to the disaster risk database. Resilience Academy, it started as a concept to build a capacity and a long-term sustainability to develop and apply new tools and methods in urban development and the urban climate risk management in African cities. And as universities, we are at the forefront to ensure that we impart knowledge and skill to young generation. The digital geospatial skills which are necessary in order to solve the societal challenges. Next slide. So with the Resilience Academy, we train the young generation, we train the young people on how to use the tools. The handheld GPS, the geodetic GPS, but also how to collect data, how to map the data, and how to present the data, and how to use the collected data to solve disaster-related problems or any other societal problems. And most of these tools are open tools. We focus on using affordable, locally made technologies with participatory mapping approaches. And through this, then students have the opportunity to learn new knowledge, to get new skills related to geospatial technologies. The opportunity also exposes students to various multi-domain skills, and they are able to manage various projects, but also they are able to map information that they collect in the field. When they go to the field, they work or they collaborate with the local leaders, and they are able to experience various societal problems that are in the societies. Next slide. Now, what we are doing as a university, we work with our students from various universities. We give them education, we impart them with knowledge, and at times then they can have innovations at their own. And this innovation is an innovation that they can apply technologies, simple technologies, affordable technologies, but also open source tools to work with the data they collect, and they are able to use the data they collect to solve or show the existing problems in the society. Next slide. So with the digital skills, the Resilience Academy is also working to develop online material. These online materials are meant to be open access learning material in the courses where anybody can access these materials online. We also arrange student internship during industrial training time, where students have the opportunity to practically work in the field under the supervision of our experts, but also with the supervision of our collaborators. We are collaborating with the World Bank and the other private companies. So our students, they do get an opportunity to work, an opportunity to practice, and in doing that, we empower them to have exposure and experience in working with these digital geospatial data. Most of the work they are doing, especially spatial data collection, this data is processed and uploaded into the climate risk database, and therefore the information is openly accessible by anybody. We are also collaborating in research, innovations, and the partnership with a consortium of university partners here in Tanzania and our colleague in Finland. Next slide. Okay, let me invite my colleague, Dr. Lungo, to proceed with e-learning material development.
Okay, Dr. Lungo, great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Juma Lungo from University of Dar es Salaam. I'm presenting Dr. Mesembise, who was supposed to make this presentation. She is our coordinator here. So in terms of e-learning materials, we are developing e-learning materials that can be adopted by teaching staffs, but also they can be part of the teaching materials at the institutions, but also they can be trained on their own. So basically, we are developing online learning materials related to open data for resilience, flooding resilience in a changing climate, and also community mapping for improved spatial planning and resilience. I will talk on point number 2. Next, please. Next slide. Yeah. So this module 2, it is on geospatial data quality and management. Specifically, we are training on geospatial data quality, management, visualization, and data sharing skills to stimulate informed decisions for resilient society. The module is divided into 3 sections. So there's section 2A, 2B, and 2C. And in each section, we have lecture and practicals. So candidates or students will be learning in terms of practicals as well as lectures. For example, under 2A, we introduce the concepts, and then we give like a lecture, but again, you can listen yourself because it is recorded, it is audio, so you can read yourself, it is on the online platform. And then there are practicals whereby you can do some exercises. Same for 2B section, and step 4, you can have, they have the lecture, meaning explanation of the concept, and then there are practical sessions, and then section C, you have again the training materials in terms of lecture, and then exercises until you finish. So that is how the module is being organized, and it is on the online platform, as you can see on the screen, on the screenshot. Resilience Academy Module 2, Geospatial Data Quality Management and Sharing with the GeoNodes.
Okay.
Next slide.
Thanks, Dr. Lungo. We need to move quite fast, so let's get this Ignite presentation style keep going. Thank you for just being quite brief as we describe to our lovely speakers from the universities.
Okay. Yeah, so example of skills, there's already ongoing Resilience Academy Data Visualization Challenge for 2020. And the portal is there, so resilienceacademy.so.tz, and here is where it can be submitted. There will be online event on the 27th November 2020. There are 171 submissions, and all of them were from different universities, from the 4 universities in Tanzania. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on the next slide. Okay, Dr. Zakaria, can you briefly take us through, let's keep moving at pace here so we stick to time.
Internship and industrial training as digital services during industrial training period, which is usually around July to September. Yeah, we use students, or we provide opportunity for our undergraduate students to carry out the industrial training here in Dar es Salaam in collaboration with other students from other universities. Usually other universities are collaborating with the University of Dar es Salaam, sometimes State University of Zanzibar. And therefore, during industrial training, we offer an opportunity to students to have an exposure to digital geospatial skills. So they spend most of their time in the field collecting data in the unmapped areas, and therefore they engage with the locals in what we call community mapping. So they collected data. They collected data in flood-prone areas. They collected data on drainage systems, and they collected the data, then uploaded it in the climate risk database using the GeoNode system. And the data are accessible, openly accessible for decision making to whoever needed the data. Next slide. So through this program, students do obtain skills and knowledge in the following areas: in the GIS, in the community engagement, on how to use open data tools. Yeah. Some they have the opportunity to use drone and manned aerial vehicles and the other innovations, but also they map specific type of information, thematic mapping, and they conduct household surveys. Those who are IT related in their courses, then they have an opportunity to work on the IT related area, like manage servers, to monitor and to monitor the quality of the data, to check for the metadata of all the collected data. And many more skills and knowledge that they get. So, for example, from in the 2019-2020, we had about 100 students working for 80 weeks, and they have involved the community about more than 300 community members, and they collaborated with more than 40 years in their local areas. And therefore, they have managed to map about 1,713 amenities, 150 kilometers of roads, about 38,000, more than 38,000 buildings footprints, more than 6,000 businesses, and the area of interest, tourist features, more than 8. So this is this was an internship in the Zanzibar.
Thank you so much, Zakaria. That was so interesting. Okay, Dr. Makame, it's from SUSE. Let's hear about the climate risk database GeoNode.
Okay, thanks, Alexa, but my internet here is not stable. So I think I will use my own slide here because I can't see what it has been written from your slides.
Okay, you could just tell us what you're excited about on the digital data set.
Okay, I'm going to present the climate risk database and the GeoNode development. This is a very crucial or a core component of the Resilience Academy, because in this component is where one can be able to access the data, which are very important to understand risk, to help us to developing evidence-based solution for resilient urban development. Because building a resilience, we need to address a lot of issues, like to be able, the community to adapt, but also to reduce those kind of, to address the issue that create vulnerability of the urban area. So it is very important component of this project. So in climate data risk database management, so far we have been able to put it on. It is up and running, and currently we have over 70 digital data sets which are openly accessible, but also more than 250 students trained with data management skills, industrial training in 2019 and 2020, where you can see it is a very important component to build skill of the youth in our university. Basically, this training, they help them to it is like an added advantages for them when they go to the labor market. Actually, it have been added a lot of value, and they have been competitive in an employment area, because we have seen here most of our students who have been gone through industrial training through these issues, they have been competitive and have been employed in various areas, especially in urban planning and those natural resource related areas. So
thank you, Dr. Makame. That's so great. Sorry, yes, please, before we give up.
And the last slide, GeoNode, we have, through the time, we have been able to attract a lot of users, include back-end developers, front-end developer, geospatial data managers, data users. As we have said, this is a freely a kind of a system which is built based on open sources. So everyone is welcome to use. And currently we have various users from different kind of categories.
Super. Well, thank you. That is so important and so exciting to hear about the employment of young people. Thank you, Dr. Makame. And we welcome now Dr. Theofrida to explain to us about the research section. Just very briefly, Dr. Theofrida.
Thanks, Alexa. Actually, I'm not a doctor, but I'm representing Dr. Ernest Mauya, our coordinator from SUA. So
thank you, Theofrida.
Can you actually load the whole slide, please? With the Resilience Academy, actually, there are parts of the slides that are missing. So the whole slides. Yeah, yes, thank you. And there is still one part missing. Yes, thank you. So with the Resilience Academy, we're actually helping students and we're conducting research that are actually demand-driven. When I'm saying demand-driven, that they're actually needed in government, private sectors, NGOs. So we're looking into what actually the government want, or the NGOs or the private sectors, or actually the people in the society. What do they want? And then we look at the services that is available. If the service is not there, then we pilot something, or we sort of evaluate the piloting, and then we look at the research, and or we develop something that is going to be helpful to the society and also to the whole government. So we're training students to use affordable equipment, as our previous, my previous presenters were saying, that we had tools that were used maybe from OMBTC. They had a certain tool that was actually free and open source that could help students to do a survey, to collect data that could be used to make different decisions. Next slide, please. Next slide. So with the several data that are needed and several research programs that are needed, we currently have implemented several research that used Internet of Things, used machine learning, used microtasking projects to collect data in urban heat sensing, ground truth, satellite floods, mapping, 3D reconstructions, and river monitoring floods. With these data, we can use them to have planned cities, to create awareness to the communities, and to also manage to attain green neighborhood to the society. And with that fact, we can attain the SDG goals, as you can see. And we are actually hosting different programs. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. We're actually hosting different programs and different projects with 2 students in each university, who are actually able to work on different areas, including those areas that are actually displayed there: river flooding rating with cameras, rainwater harvesting benefits, rainfall prediction with machine learning, image classifier for data tree cover, drainage updates. Next slide. Next slide, please. Automated green urban cover, solid waste GIS, remote sensing, urban heat stress low cost mapping, and 3D Zanzibar maps. In general, we're not only focusing on the just on the remote sensing or on the GIS part of knowledge. We include different areas that are including students from the GIS, students from the IT, students from the social colleges or social areas, that they can actually do this research and help us to come up with solutions that could actually be needed in the society. So with that, I would like to say thank you for all of you for listening to our presentation. So welcome everybody to come to Resilience Academy and see what we're doing in our projects. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Theofrida. That was so interesting, and it's great to hear about all the research that is coming out of this program. I'd like to now welcome Stephen Kutuku from SUA. He's a student that took part in the data visualization challenge, as well as the research and the internship program that Resilience Academy runs. So Stephen really enjoyed the program, and I welcome him to put his video on and come online and present. And our team here is switching the slides over to his slide. Stephen. Welcome.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Stephen. So you really enjoyed the Resilience Academy, I hear. Sounds like a great experience for you.
Yeah, I'm Stephen Kutuku, a graduate from Sokoine University of Agriculture. I pursued a bachelor degree of environmental sciences and management. So, is everyone hearing me?
Yes, we do hear you.
Stephen.
Just continue.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I was among the students who participated in all of the 3 Resilience Academy programs. So I'm here to share my experience. Next slide, please. Yeah, first I participated in Resilience Academy industrial training. Was a part of my field practical training conducted at Sokoine University of Agriculture. During this, it was conducted in 5 weeks, and I gained a lot of experience. Several activities were performed. The first one was tree mapping by using mobile phone, where we use Android phones to collect data about trees, such as tree diameter, height, to determine a tree species by using browsers such as ODK, Platnet, and Tree2 Haiti to determine the age of tree. Also, we performed the canopy mapping. That was a groundwork by using what you can call as a VEA to map several canopies at Sierra Leone is a program of World Bank. Also learned a lot through the campus platform in data quality, data management, and data sharing. So by finalizing this slide, I would like to say that again, a lot of experience is to share different ideas with my fellow student. Working together is opening up development of Tanzania is learning. Okay, another was micro. This was like a temporary job for me. I was performed during my studies at break time and whatever by performing digital mapping online. So they paid us a lot, me and my fellow students. So it helped us to save our life during universities, is to pay rent and to buy basic needs. And we gain a lot of support from the team. Okay, next slide. I participated also in Resilience Academy Visualization Challenge in 2019. I learned a lot through access of open source software such as GeoNode, ArcGIS, and QGIS, and to get access of available data in a climate risk database. Our visualization challenge in 2019 was about solid waste management at Kinondoni Municipal, where after we failed to win, then we are here in 2020. And the main topic is about urban traffic congestion in Dar es Salaam. So it will be presented on 27, and we're already making a video. So we hope we will win for it. And the more experience gained in the Resilience Academy is participating and integrating with different students from different universities, such as UDSM, ALSI, and SUSAS. So we create a lot of network. As I have my friends from there, we share a lot of things. Yeah, if a job maybe happen, I contacted them, they contacted me. So I enjoyed a lot in it. And also to represent our work in front of people. Yeah, it's a lot of experience. The last slide. So in my opinion, is the student who involved in all the Steel Resilience Academy, such as micro, industrial training, and the visualization challenge. I learn a lot. I have new skills, how to use open source software, how to access data in climate risk database, how to clean and the recording data by using GeoNode. Also, I experienced a lot to work in really problem, such as the flood, the issue of trees during my field. Also, I get the opportunity to work and get paid by micro. Also, opportunity to speak here today. Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's my first time to speak in front of people like this. So since I graduated, I welcome any organization or any stakeholders who will be interested to work with me in any issues. It's explained a lot, so I'll be available. My email address is there and my phone number is there. Asante sana, thank you.
Thank you so much, Stephen. It's so great to see young people benefiting from the program and gaining valuable skills. I see we've got a nice comment here from Hessel in the chat box. He says, congratulations, Stephen. And everybody, Stephen will be a presenter at the Data Visualization Challenge, which is happening this Friday. So you can follow Resilience Academy on Twitter. It's Tanzania_RA on Twitter, and I think that we can drop that in that address handle in the chat box. And yeah, we invite you to come and join us online, and you can get that information from Twitter. So now I'm pleased to invite Innocent Maholi from OpenMap Tanzania. He's the founder and executive director, and OpenMap came very much out of this program of Resilience Academy, and Innocent is going to tell us more. So we're going to pull Innocent up, and we've got their slides. Take it away, Innocent. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexa. I hope everybody can see me and hear me as well. Right, and thank you for the introduction. So, as Alexa said, my name is Innocent Maholi, and I am the Executive Director for OpenMap Development Tanzania, also known as OMBTC. And today here I'll be getting you guys through skills development for university students and the programs that we are doing in collaboration with other organizations such as Resilience Academy and through other programs of our own with the clients. Next slide, yes, thank you. So the first part, I'll try to cover what is OMBTC and what we do. But before I even do that, I wanted to talk about the way how we came into being. With the fact that OMBTC was formed by students that were previously students from Al University and University of Dar es Salaam that engaged in the Ramani Huria community mapping back in 2015. And just to introduce what OMBTC, we are a local registered NGO and we are based in Mikocheni, Dar es Salaam, and we are authorized to operate across the country. We are a very young organization that promotes community.
We seem to have lost Innocent for a moment. We're just going to give him a second to restart.
Through, also from sorry, you say? Should I continue?
Yes, please continue, Innocent. Thank you. We just lost you for a second.
All right, sorry. So we promote community mapping projects through most of the projects that we are doing with partners, clients, and donors and funders. But on top of that, we also generate map awareness with the fact that we do community mapping. So we train community members, we train in the university students, and also stakeholders such as government practitioners have access to the maps and then be able to make use of them. And with that, I think we build a network of mappers across the country through different projects and through different engagement. What we do in OMBTC, the first thing is we do data collection through community mapping, as I said. The most important item is the training and capacity building, where we engage with university students and train them how they could use the technology, the open technology and open data sets to actually, be able to solve real-time issues on the ground and help communities for better, their lives. And there are GIS and open source technology, where we also train university students, community members, government practitioners, and private companies to be able to use the technology that we have and that we inherit from other organizations as well, which is open source, and be able for them to use and for them to be able to use and resolve issues. Please let me know if I'm not, because there is some internet issues here. So thank you. Yeah, the next slide, I wanted to talk about the OMBTC background. So like I said before, OMBTC team is originated from, Ramani Huria project. This was the project funded by the World Bank and operated by the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team in 2015. And with this project, most of the team members were able to get trained on how they could use maps, how they could actually make maps and use maps to transform people's lives on the ground. And you can see from the pictures here, like for the upper left picture, this is the team receiving training, and the upper right picture is one of the team members who is now a manager called Dorica, being able to communicate with the community members and raise issues of their concerns that needs mapping, and give that kind of interaction, which also helped us to build leadership skills in our own capacity. And the top left, below left picture, you can see one of the team member who is called Guantwa was able to get introduced to community mapping with one of the community members, just going outside, collect data, and be able to populate the map. And this has transformed her to, sorry, previous slide, please. This has helped the team to be able to communicate with the team members, community members, but also create leadership skills, and also on top of that, create skills that could be very potential in getting our own registration for the organization. Next slide, please. So the next slide talks about how we came into being. So we were registered in 2017, and you can see this is just some team members here that are are part of the team and are still coming from the universities. Like you can see myself from our university, and Edie, who is my the other person next to me, who came from the University of Dar es Salaam. And this is just to show you a little bit of the staff members we have. We have a team of nearly 40 people that have a background of industrial training and coming from industrial training in the universities. Next slide, please. So with this next slide, I wanted to talk about the work that we're doing and the clients and partners that we usually work with. And this ranges from the local and international organizations and companies. And with this, we have different kind of projects that are getting us into the market of community mapping, GIS analysis, innovation, and training. And from this, you can see that, for example, like a local organization like Nipefajo, we were able to transform, the way they approach their activities through helping them, training them with ODK and being able to go out and map the trash sites in the fields and be able to organize, cleanups every month. And from the organization like Greenwest Pro, we wanted to support them in solid waste management of the city, which also was part of the engagement we did with I4ID. And for organizations like HDI, for example, this is completely on innovation ecosystem in Tanzania, where we are trying to map the innovators across the country and putting them on one platform so that it could be very easy for partners, donors, funders, and innovators to interact. And the rest of the partners, like the World Bank, for example, GIZ, UNDP, these are international partners that we have been able to work with directly and being contracted on different projects. So for World Bank, for example, it's Ramani Huria, which started in 2015, but we have been also working with Tanzania Resilience Academy, to just transform, the skills that we have and imparting these to students, as you've heard most of the speakers have talked about. Next slide, please. So what we do actually at the moment is we are giving back to, to the society, actually the students that we are able to work with. And we are doing this through, the partnership and the programs that Resilience Academy are working on. And some of these are it also includes some of the initiatives that World Bank is working on. For example, universities like in that IRDP, Institute of Rural Development Planning, and UDSM, for example, or RV and SUA as well. These are part of the industrial training that we have been able to carry, and we have been able to impart students with skills. And these skills range from innovation in terms of drone building and flying, to the fact that they are also able to work to use high precision GPS that are able to, you know, to help transform the lives on the ground. And this kind of, we do impart students with this information because we believe they can be, from whatever they are taking from schools, they can be able to transform lives in their communities. So that's why we are trying to impart them with skills that can be able for them, can help them to run companies, or for them, if employed in the government, for example, if it's urban planners, they can be able to use these skills to actually bring changes on the ground. And you can see here, we train them how they could approach community members and work with community members and harness the local knowledge they have and transform that into maps. And you can see that somehow we train them how they could use or open applications like ODK, for example, or QGIS to make maps and be able to use that to transform lives. Last slide, please. So on the last slide, I wanted to talk about the impact, and this is just somehow some of the impacts we've been able to. So we have been able to work with nearly 1,500 students from different years, from different universities, like I said, RD, UDSM, SUA, and IRDP. And from these came people that were certified drone pilots. For example, we have one of the staff we are working with this drone pilot called Bonlove, who is doing well, and he's transforming that, and communicating that with students. Some of them are university lecturers at the moment, and these are partly, people that were used to work with us directly as core team. So Aldi University, St. Joseph, Aldi Institute, and IRP, we have people that are university lecturers there. And some of them, like you can see from the slide, urban planners, we've been able to, transform people and become urban planners that are using the technology and the skills that we have imparted them with to better the work that they're doing, which also includes GIS experts and consultants. I know my time is up. Thank you, and I'm happy to receive any questions so far later. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Innocent. It's so great to see organizations coming up like OMBTC that are really providing skills and training and giving back, as well as starting Tanzanian businesses out of the skills that they've learned. So a huge applause for OMBTC and the work they're doing. Please drop your questions in the chat. Now we welcome Sebastian. Sebastian is with Greenstand, and they are a client of the Resilience Academy. Sebastian is the Vice President of Programs at Greenstand, and I'm going to give over to him to explain more about what Greenstand does and how they work with the Resilience Academy. Thank you, Sebastian.
I don't know what you see at the moment.
Thank you, Sebastian. We can see the Greenstand presentation,
this
poverty and climate change, technology and ecological economy. Thank you.
Okay. Zoom sometimes jumps a little bit. Sorry, is this now, who's presenting this now? Then first slide, please.
Yes, there we go.
This is
who we are.
Very complicated because it's on a PDF. Well, so who we are, we're Greenstand, founded in 2015, purely existing in the cloud, as you may see that. We are an eco-tech data organization, and what we're looking for is basically unleashing the last mile on both sides when it comes to global restoration. And global restoration we see as data entry and data monitoring is one of the main issues and the main driver of this revolution that we have to go through, of really being able to incorporate everybody in global restoration. So this is how we started. So if you just go down a little bit on the next slide. So basically we have a system that tracks trees through individuals, and then we show them on a map. So this is for example, one of the map views. This is Sierra Leone, Freetown. It is a very effective monitoring and evaluation platform that we've created, and we also have this ability to do these micro payments to people on the ground and yeah, compensating them for their work. So if you go down, next. So our model is basically capturing the impact, then monitoring it, verifying it, and then we have a marketplace, or we're creating a marketplace where we can trade this impact, which is then interesting for future, also in terms of carbon credit, etc. This kind of market is what we're talking about. So next slide. Yeah, so we really want to start at the community level. In this case, the focus was very much on the rural space. This is where we derived from. Tree planting, small tree planting projects in rural areas had always the problem of transparency. So we taking community members and making them stewards of their own trees. And we connect them, or we organize for tree growing organizations this kind of data capturing, and then we link it up to donors and consumer facing organizations. And then obviously science, academia, and planning is a key element that we can slot in at any point in time. So we are an open source platform, and we really invite science, academia on the table. So let's go down. Again, I've already pointed that out. Reaching the last mile is really our focus. Yeah, we can actually jump that slide. So let's go down to the sewer. I want to keep it short. So within the sewer placement, we had the chance to yeah, make the week 5. It was where we had our focus. We invited a couple partner projects and interesting speakers into the training. But in the field, we had, for example, this quick mapping exercise where we captured 3,000 trees in probably a couple hours. And I think it was 20 students in this case that were out there in the bush tracking this. So this is really helping us with our AI development and for the development team. So if you go down, the students then, yeah, that one. So the students had no one up, sorry, yeah. So the students then had the chance to verify the trees. This is our verification platform where you basically go through the captured images remote, and then you can categorize them. In this case, it would be eucalyptus and let's say an additional tag, a plantation. So this is like a post-processing data verification process, which is also a core element of our system that we really are able to put them in different pots and having these different attributes assigned. So through that, the next step is basically that we know exactly which person has. Yeah, you can go down one slide. That will actually work. Yeah, thank you. So this would be an individual map of a person. So in this case, one of the students, and the tracking. In this case, we're really focusing on tracking with different devices and seeing how the accuracy levels of the GPS play a role in this. So if you go down one slide, please. We see this is, for example, just a quick result set out of what we captured. So we can see that there's a bunch of different brands, a bunch of different models, quite different Android release versions, and now we can basically start to really analyze the GPS accuracy difference, and therefore, because the students went, they basically captured the trees at the exact spot. So each one was at the exact spot, which then allows us to then assume that this should have been exactly the same reading, and then now we can calculate all the differences in the GPS accuracies, which is, I think, yeah, for us is very valuable. And then also having having for the machine learning of species recognition, having this data. So yeah, what does that show us? If you go one slide down. Yeah, so what we've learned again and what we've seen is that remote sensing, remote field units, data curators, verifying services, etc., are really going to be the jobs of the future, and we really see a participation here from different levels. So you really have the let's say the farmer on the ground, the community member, but you also have the chance, let's say, to have more the urban population to participate and students to participate in the data curing and in the data verification. So for us, this was a really good exercise, and also to show the students what different systems are out there, and yeah, we were very lucky and very happy to have this placement. And yeah, we had a great partnership with OMBTC there, working together. And if you go down one slide, this is, yeah, well, this is our message, basically, that we need to kind of unify the maps that we use and our data that we use. So we're really looking into integrating a standard or developing a standard that is basically can be used and is open source and can be used to verify these environmental impacts and tree growing successes and things like this. If you go down one. That's the thank you note. I have another one to share, but I think we're out of time. So there's plenty more, but yeah, trying to keep it short. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sebastian. And so we have, I think, until 1 o'clock. So we've got a few minutes here, 20 minutes for some questions. So I'd like to invite all our presenters to put their videos on and be ready to take questions from the audience. And I'll open that up. You're welcome to unmute yourself and ask a question, or to post it in the chat. Yeah, questions from our audience. What have you learned? What would you like to know more about? We've also posted the contacts of all of our speakers in the chat box on the right-hand side, in case you want to reach out to any of our speakers. While we wait for the audience to maybe come in with some questions, I have a question for Sebastian. I'd like to know, Sebastian, would you recommend working for other companies to work with the Resilience Academy? And what did you find the most beneficial for Greenstand as a company working with the Academy?
That's a good question. I really think that the resilience part is basically kind of crying out for the ability to do things remotely, and for us, this is what we're based off, is to be utilizing technology and finding that gap to really practical data collection. So I think the Resilience Academy for us was in that sense very interesting, that they brought us, or we brought each other to the table, and we really know now about these movements, and that is another important outreach for us, in a way, to really, yeah, hopefully work closer together when it comes to that. I think there is a massive opportunity in urban regreening, which we're already venturing into, and I think a pretty solid product will come out of this, where you can organize big planting organization, organize planting activities, and you can also monitor other resilience, climate change factors and things like this, as we've seen already from other open source ODK, for example. So to really wrap this up into something where you can pay people, this is something we would
Okay, thank you, Sebastian. Maybe I can also ask our colleagues from the universities. What do you see? Sebastian's given us a very forward-looking perspective. He sees, potential for scaling this and for working on urban greening, and the potential for growth. What would you say to other universities that are interested in joining the Resilience Academy? And maybe also, we had some interesting discussions on research. So what research do you see that could be established off the back of some of this work? And what potential do you see going forward? Maybe Dr. Lungo or some of our colleagues from the universities?
Come again, please.
What would you say to other universities who are thinking of joining the Resilience Academy, or what would you say in terms of scaling the Resilience Academy as we go forward? And do you see interesting opportunities for research? Do you think of what Sebastian has said about how this could really grow, and so it was so helpful, and amazing way of collecting large scale data, but also he's created these amazing data sets. So sort of, from the university's end, what potential do you see for Resilience Academy?
If I can start, I think that the most important part of the Resilience Academy is on a participatory number of, or maybe a big area like Msimbazi is our case here, Msimbazi River. You need a lot of people, and using the academy is possible to mobilize a number of mappers or participants who can do the mapping in a large area, and that they can find different topics, different areas, and different issues that need to collect this kind. So there is a potential for other universities to join the Research Academy, and they can find areas where they can collect data and they can excel on that. So it can be part of the research data. Yeah, I see that other universities can really get data through this academy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lungo, Dr. Juma Lungo. And maybe Innocent, I think that you've said here that you find this a helpful question. What about creating marketable skills for youth? I know OMDTZ, I know you employ a lot of young people as mappers. And we'd like to hear from you. I see that Hessel would also like to comment. So why don't I give Innocent, can you give us some insights on young people's skills, and then I will unmute Hessel and give him the chance to comment as well.
Yeah, sure. I'm not quite sure if I got your question right, but I think you're asking, on the program. And to me, I feel like this is exactly what Tanzania needed. And on my side, I think this can be something scalable in Africa or any other places, because creating, like, for myself, I think I've seen people struggling with getting job after graduating from schools, and right after I was engaged and introduced to this kind of initiatives, I think I've seen more people being able to get skills and then being able to be very marketable. Like I've said in my presentation, that we've had some of the core team members, getting other jobs from universities, for example, and these are big universities, like Albi, UDSM, Albi Institute, and others. So to me, I feel like this is something that I think Tanzania needed, and it's a good thing that we have, the Resilience Academy in the presence, because things are happening at the moment. And like the students, we've heard from Stephen here, from the presentation from Stephen, and you can see that with this kind of, engagement that he had, it has helped him to improve his skills, but also it has boosted his, knowledge and capacity of doing stuff. I'm not quite sure if I got it right, or maybe the question, but I think that's my opinion, actually.
Thank you so much, Innocent. I think that's really interesting. I think that's, for me, is at the core of the Resilience Academy, is this, huge support to our young people. And I think that, in all of the presentations we've seen, just this urgent need for jobs and skills for young people. And that's why these, working with the universities and this partnership with universities is so important to build those skills. And it's really exciting to see that those skills are marketable and useful, that you guys can use them at OMDTZ. Sebastian at Greenstand is using them. And I know there was a number of other companies that, really enjoyed the internships. Let's see, is Hessel able to join us? Is he unmuted? Can we invite Hessel to comment?
Yes, yeah, my microphone now works. Yeah, thanks all for the great presentations. And just to comment a bit on the research perspective, yeah, what I found myself, I'm affiliated with Delft University, and we collaborate a lot also with the Tanzanian groups that are working on Resilience Academy. And what I found is there's so much demand for services that require observations, data, and so on. And there's also so much technology that in principle can offer those services in an affordable way. And what we can do as researchers is try to find ways to connect those two and investigate if then the technology is good enough for the purpose for the purpose of the services that are needed. And so far that was, I think, very successful. I think we've seen a concrete concrete example of that, where students work together with OMBTC, Innocent already presented on it, investigated the use of new affordable GNSS, GPS technology to really do centimeter precise surveys, which has huge advantages for many, many use cases. And after a year's time or so, the first really service provision is already taking place. So the speed by which we can take technology, make it suited for those use cases, and make it suitable also for companies, local companies to work with, can be very fast, and it's extremely effective. So I think the more universities join that idea, not just in Tanzania but also in countries around Tanzania, in Africa, and internationally, I think that's extremely valuable.
Thank you so much, Hessel. That's so interesting. And yeah, and I just think the Resilience Academy has so much potential. It's really exciting. Maybe, I don't know, Nina, would you like to say something about the sort of vision and what you expect from Resilience Academy going forward as we look over the next few years, and what next for the Resilience Academy a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I mean, this has been a great session to hear out the voices of all of us who have contributed to the fact that this Resilience Academy as a concept, as a new model of digital employment, digital skills development can actually come about. Some of the essential elements here really are that the supply side, which we represent as universities, are able to create structures and motivation and capacity to actually deliver these type of services for the society. But we cannot do it alone. So the key here is that the client side, the society who needs digital data, novel solutions, and especially solutions that are solving problems that we are facing in today's society, come together. And that's why this whole model, if we crystallize it into key elements, together with the universities, we've got organizations like OMDTZ, who is hosting massive number of students, creating local service provision solution out of the skills that come from the university are needed. And then we also need the clients who really need this data, these technology solutions. And this market is not yet ready. And this is perhaps some of the things that I really would like us to make effort in the coming, let's say, half a year, is to come together and start designing a sustainable business model out of this Resilience Academy. Because what Tanzania and countries that are rapidly developing right now with a lot of energy, potential, skills, capital, and a lot of challenges, they need to identify that this service provision is exactly what they need in order to make locals to solve the problems and the talent to grow and prosper in the future. And like I said, we do a lot of this together with a support of the big funders like World Bank at the moment. But we need to find funders and clients that are within the country, that are which are really different than where we are living at today. I'm pretty convinced that we get to where we are aiming for. And that's why I'm really excited today that the session here is under Sahara Sparks, because we know that Jumanne and his team, they've been building years the innovation ecosystem for sub-Saharan Africa. And this is the key. That I would really like us to put our heads together with Sahara Sparks, to start building this business model in a way that it really flourishes in the future. And some of the key components are really the number of students, that this is not a model for individual students. This is a model that is scalable also in the number of extent, but it has to be also a solution that always is having a fresh mind towards the problems that we have in the society. And by this, I mean is that technology and data are the engine, but they are not the only solution. The solutions are the real problems that we all see in our societies. And this climate change, the challenge for sustainable development, everybody's extremely concerned where this planet is going towards. And we can really make something which is really strong, because we are not just worrying about the problems, we are making students having relevant skills and making students capable of using their skills. I mean, university's main problem over the century has been to create the intellect, the knowledge base, but to turn the knowledge base into the solution space is exactly what we are doing here, and that we need to start working on. So I'm super excited. We are all super excited, but we still have to do substantial improvement in the way this model is working. And Innocent, I'm looking forward to meeting you soon in Tanzania. And I'm looking forward to discussing with all our coordinators who we meet in Dar es Salaam soon. What is the next steps we have to take? Let's make it work for the long term. Thank you. I really love that you are all here today, and I hope we had a good audience, and let's start working. It's worth it, I think. Thank you. Asante.
Thank you so much, Nina. That is just such an exciting vision for Resilience Academy. And I think, when we hear the benefits that Sebastian has seen as a company, when we see the growth of OMDTZ and the skills, when we hear from Stephen, the valuable skills that he's learned, we're seeing young people being employable and also addressing climate challenges, and hearing from the universities, the benefits that they have through the GeoNode, the research, hearing from Hessel at the University of Delft. It's just such a powerful program, and I really hope that we can, work together to achieve this fantastic vision and to scale it up and scale up the outreach. We are just about to our end time, so I don't know if there's any final urgent questions. Otherwise, we will look forward to reaching out to our subscriber list for today, where possible, with some additional information, and hopefully meeting all of you and taking this conversation further. So I just, one final second, anybody wants to come off their mic and say one last word or one last burning question? I'll give you the opportunity now.
If they can unmute.
All right, or you can drop any urgent questions in the chat. Okay, or then great. We will say thank you so much. Snaps and claps for everyone. Thank you so much. And yeah, we'll be in touch. And thank you very much to all of our fantastic presenters and the team at Sahara Sparks who worked with us to host this. And we can't wait to see all of you in person and be together. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Ah.